take this on with Marco Vicenzino, who's a global strategy advisor, joins us now from New York. Great to have you with us, Marco. Put all these threads together for us, if you would. First, this ongoing diplomacy that Russell was just talking about, of Syria re-engaging and reconnecting with the Arab world, as he said. Everyone, of course, has an interest in how the Syrian situation develops. But this current batch of diplomacy, what can we hope to expect from this?
There's the outside, the external powers and the internal powers in Syria. The external powers, their main interest is to ensure stability and security within Syria in order to prevent spillover into the wider region. They look back at the recent past, places like Iraq, Libya, and they've seen what's happened. They do not want a repeat of this. On the other side, with the HTS-led government in Damascus, their main concern is to create those bridges with the external powers, also in order to attract economic aid, financial aid, and to begin the process of reconstruction. The country is decimated, the economy is decimated, more than half the population are either they're internally displaced or are in different countries, refugees outside. But when it comes to security in Syria, one has to distinguish between the East and the West. In parts of the East where the government does not have control, and parts of the West where the government has control directly, or at least has technically jurisdiction and is seeking to establish order in many parts. In the West, we're looking at, obviously, it has control over the centers, broad control over the main population centers, Aleppo, Homs, Hama, capital Damascus. The coastal regions is an issue. And then there's the areas between the major cities.
OK, so given everything that you're saying, can this diplomacy from the outside, can it contain all these pressures that you're alluding to within? And there's still a lot of Assad supporters around, a lot of arms too. Can the potential for an uprising be contained?
That's going to have to be primarily driven. Outsiders can help, but the difference is going to be fundamentally made from the inside. The main task right now, the immediate task, is how to contain the tension. But in order to contain tension, you have to create public trust. And that ability to create public trust has a brief window of opportunity to create long-term trust. The immediate challenge is the government is short on manpower. So to its credit, it's created a new Ministry of Defense that's brought in a lot of the opposition forces. But also you have to deal with weapons like issues like disarmament, de-weaponization, demobilization. That takes time. And once again, time is of the essence. Now, what the outsiders can do is help train government forces, help them with the material and some advisors, things of that nature. Yes, that can be done, but ultimately it's from within. To contain the situation, it needs to be underpinned by public trust. The outsiders, the broader diplomatic game, have their own interest. So yes, they want to help Syria in many ways, but each one's the Turks have their own interests regarding the Kurdish element and the refugee issue. Okay. The American interest to basically prevent a resurgence of ISIL-Daesh forces. There's many, many interests at play. And trying to manage the internal situation and the diplomatic situation is not an easy task. Certain things can be done short.
A lot of vested interests. Marco, I'm going to have to jump in there, but do appreciate your analysis. Thanks very much indeed for joining us, Marco Vicenzino. Join us from New York.
Thank you.